This is my hobby, the greatest hobby. Hello everyone, this is a hobbyist here, and we are back with our Sacred Pool character expansion exploration. The last character which we covered was the Magus, and his ability to manipulate followers into bending to his psychic will and using their indoctrinated brain to enhance his own psychic capabilities. But now, let's go ahead and move on towards the next character out of the four. So inside of the Reaper expansion, we've already mentioned the basic knight, but now we are getting into a character who is a noble and headstrong protector of the meek, who lives by a strict code of ethics, rushing to aid those in need and never harming those weaker than himself. He's got a bit of a more honorable code in that regard. And therefore, he is known as the Chivalric Knight. So, with us having previously covered the forces of evil inside of the Sacred Pool, it now makes sense that we are now to turn towards those of good faith and of good intent for those around them. So let's go ahead and look at the Chivalric Knight's card and what it is that he has to offer for the Sacred Pool expansion, as well as what he offers just for the world of Talisman. So he has a strength of 3, the craft of 3. And as you can see here, if you remember inside of our Magus video, that this lady symbol towards the bottom is the Sacred Pool symbol, meaning any cards that possess that symbol are a part of the Sacred Pool expansion. So if you want to separate the expansion from any of the other expansions that you're playing, just look for that symbol, and it'll make things a lot easier for you. And now let's move on into the rest of the stats for this character. So the Chivalric Knight has 2 faith, which is 1 better than both the Dread Knight and the Magus. He has a life of 4, as well as 3 character abilities. Again, generally when it comes to characters and the way that they're built, the fewer character abilities, the higher the quality. Not in all cases, it generally applies to most. Let's go ahead and get into that first character ability. You begin the game with 1 riding horse from the stables deck. If you lose the riding horse, you may take 1 from the stables deck for free if you visit the castle. Now, the Chivalric Knight in our character exploration is the first character that we have covered inside of our Talisman videos that actually starts in the middle region. So far, inside of the base game and everything else that we've covered, characters tend to start on spaces in the outer regions. So, being able to take advantage of this position, being right here at the castle, being a good character, alongside the fact that the riding horse is a pretty solid follower to start with right out the gate. I want you guys read this a little bit, just to give you an idea of what it is that you're giving yourself as the Chivalric Knight right out the gate. So, that is definitely a strong intro to the Chivalric Knight. So let's go ahead and move on toward the second character ability. Whenever another character in your region engages an enemy in battle, you may aid him. Move to the character's space and add your strength value to the character's attack score. If the enemy is killed, you receive 1 quest reward, but you must miss your next turn. So, in essence, if they're being able to aid characters in battle, whether they're good or evil, it doesn't really matter. Even though the caveat is going to be that you are going to be missing out on turns because you've spent your energy in trying to help the person or other players with their character ability, with their fights that you choose to either have or not have. there are character abilities. Excuse me. There are request rewards that you are able to gain with the actual deck itself. Honestly, has some of the most powerful benefits slash perks that you can possibly gain for yourself. When I had initially done my Sacred Pool expansion, I've had a couple of you guys comment and mention how I didn't really show off much of the Sacred Pool quest rewards and just exactly how powerful they are. Well, hopefully I can remedy for that inside of this video. Because just looking at, for example, this magic door here, and just reading exactly what that says, that's a very powerful quest reward in of itself. Because it is literally, with more expansions, it is literally teleport anywhere. Anywhere in the middle region, anywhere in the outer region, anywhere in the woodlands, anywhere in the highlands, anywhere in the city, and anywhere in the dungeon, anywhere inside the Lost Realms. I'm telling you, that is probably the most overpowered teleportation ability that you can gain for yourself with the quest rewards. So I definitely recommend, for strategic purposes, checking out our Sacred Pool expansion and just how all of that works into one another. Being able to gain access to those quest rewards early on, because the subsidiary theme of the Sacred Pool expansion being the hunt for the quest and the quest rewards, and being able to use those in alternative to gaining a talisman at the Warlock's Cave. Or not even needing the Warlock's Cave in the case of the Chivalric Knight. It's definitely an ability that has a lot of perks, that has more benefits, I feel, than caveats. Because unless if you're playing with the Harbinger expansion, where time is of the essence, to where omens could be discarded at any moment, more times than not, you'll want to help other players inside your region. And even though it might be only adding 3 strength to their attack score, it's still definitely good enough where it contributes, and then you can gain those quest rewards. And find those quest reward combinations. But some of them you can just keep and hold on to. Others, they discard immediately, and you can use them in very powerful ways. I'm telling you, these quest rewards and this ability alone for the Chivalric Knight already puts him above the Dread Knight by far. It definitely has him in the same tier as the Magus, I'd say. Because you can switch, pick and choose your sort of battle. But speaking of battles, probably one of the biggest caveats when it comes to playing as the Chivalric Knight is his third character ability. You may not attack other characters in battle if their strength is less than yours, except in the Crown Command state. You must attack them as normal. Now with the Knight, in the Reaper expansion, it specified that it was any good character. Not that they weren't evil, or not that they weren't neutral, but if they were good characters, they were completely safe. Now, with the Chivalric Knight, because of his code of conduct, it even has a bigger drawback in the fact that if you are accelerating quickly, if you are building up towards the middle, and especially in the late game, where you might have a strength or a craft as well, more so on the strength side of things, you can't really fight against other people who are weaker than you. You can defend yourself if other players choose to attack you for whatever reason, if you're the stronger one of the two. But just note that if you had been focusing on your strength, then you can't really use that strength on other characters. You can't really steal from them because that's not the honorable thing to do. Which definitely is a bummer, because you just miss out on the ability to easily take things that can just propel you to meet the requirements, whether it be inside the Sacred Pool expansion with its alternate endings, any other alternate ending conditions that you might be having along the way, or just in general for your own benefit. It's just something that the Chivalric Knight doesn't possess to himself. But overall, I honestly do believe that his pros outweigh his cons. Being able to have that double movement with that riding horse right out the gate, being able to easily get that riding horse back, and being able to quite frequently, but not every single turn, be able to help other players with defeating enemies, using your strength, and then being able to use those quest rewards and find the different quest reward combinations that work the best in your favor. Essentially is what covers the Chivalric Knight's kit. But I definitely believe that inability to attack characters who are weaker than you, not necessarily having the highest of craft, or having a kit that implies that craft is the best way to go, definitely hurts him altogether. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found that the Chivalric Knight's abilities may or may not be in your interest, depending on if you want to weigh the pros and cons and what it is that you want to play as. But otherwise, see you guys in the next one.